It is an incredible honor to have the opportunity to speak to my peers in the graduating class of 2021. I have, as well as so many other students graduating, been given an amazing community to explore, grow up in, and give back to. The teachers, staffs, and students at Williamsville North High School are truly unmatched in will, tenacity, and kindness. I owe so much of who I am to mentors like Mrs. Carney, who spends so much time outside of class helping her students and running the school newspaper, Mr. Jiang, who passionately supports each of his students as individuals as well as musicians, and the teachers like Mr. Buckle, Mr. Poplowski, Ms. Cardinale, Mr. Murphy, and so many more who have devoted and continue to devote so much of who they are to their students. I would be remiss if I failed to acknowledge the efforts of Mr. Caniglio, who in his first year at North has supported the student body in so many clubs in this difficult year, and our entire administration and PTSA, who have managed to give us as much of a normal senior experience as they could. Just in these past 4 years, their efforts are all greatly seen and greatly appreciated. Most importantly, I'd like to thank the support system I've been lucky enough to rely on. At North, I forged bonds of friendship that I hope and truly believe will last a lifetime. We are joined together by our shared love of the Spartan Rumble and Winter Holiday Concert Assemblies. You, my fellow classmates, have shown me so much and have taught me so much more than I could have ever dreamed. For the past 18 years, I have had nothing but cheerleaders, mentors, and role models, and my mother, who sparked and fuels my love for learning, my father, who taught me the importance of working through difficult problems and being meticulous, my American grandparents, who showed me what unconditional love is, and my sister, who taught me patience and compassion. I like to think that many of us feel the same about the communities we've had around us, supporting us and helping us get to this moment. We've come together for the last time as high school students at one of the first major milestones in our lives, commencement. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines commencement as an act, instance, or time of commencing, but also the ceremonies or the day for conferring degrees or diplomas. And as we sit here, waiting for the piece of paper that concludes our 4 years at Williamsville North, ready to begin the next step in our lives, these two definitions seem to perfectly apply to us. However, I think it's worth taking a look at how the origin of the word commencement may influence how we think about our past, present, and future. There's no single story for the origin of the word commencement, and that fact fits our commencement perfectly. We come together at our numerous COVID-modified graduation ceremonies with our own unique stories, backgrounds, and identities. Likewise, each instance of the word commencement has its own history. There are 3 widely accepted explanations for how the word commencement originated. The first argument, and the most highly debated explanation for the origin of this word, is that once students graduated before the Middle Ages, they celebrated with their professors and leaders of the schools by eating supper at a table known as a commensa. At that moment, they became equals and peers of their faculty, just as we gather, now also equal to the adults we've looked up to our whole lives. So, tonight, when we're celebrating our accomplishments with our friends and families, we can all share a meal at our commensas. Although, I'd argue that we began proving our class's equality and excellence the moment we started high school. In these past 4 years, numerous varsity teams have won section titles, including girls field hockey 3 times and boys soccer, the latter in the midst of a pandemic year. Individuals have succeeded in arguing for their business proposals and out-testing hundreds, if not thousands, of students in DECA, and progressing to the national competition every year for the past 3 years. And clubs have beat bitter rivals at competitions. The Science Olympiad team has beat a different long-standing rival each year for the past 2 years. Still, these accomplishments and our past only define a portion of who we are and what we can do. Likewise, a commensa is only part of the story of the word commencement. Similar to the idea of a commensa, the second school of thought is that the graduates of universities in the Middle Ages had a ceremony to celebrate their completed studies and official entrance into the faculty of the university. During that time, being a student was essentially being an apprentice, so graduates commenced their positions in the university faculty together. Presently, we gather now as a class, masters of the things we've learned these past 4 years. All of us are experts now in navigating the maze-like hallways we entered as freshmen, although those skills might have deteriorated slightly after virtual school for months. The skills we learned these past few years don't just include how to factor a polynomial or use a dichotomous key. We learned to make art and music together, developed technical skills that have given students the opportunity to join honor societies and more. And while some have earned awards for these things, we are all now armed with skills to contribute to society. We've learned to overcome difficult times, leaving our senior year experts in how to wake up at 7:44 a.m. to turn on Zoom, but also experts in finding spots of positivity, even when it seems impossible. We've mastered so many things in our time here at North, and I am incredibly honored to have shared this journey with you all. And so, like the apprentices in the Middle Ages, we enter society with mastered skills and a desire to make the world better. That brings us to the third, less interesting, and probably most accurate story for the origin of the word commencement. It's a series of arbitrary sounds, 3 syllables that when combined mean a new beginning, based on the French commencier from the Latin word comitiare, com meaning with or together, and initiare, to initiate. This, the explanation that defines our future. Where do we go from here? In my time at North, I've witnessed students band together to protest school gun violence in the blistering cold, and watched as students vehemently fought to come back to school and provide an equal education for those who wish to remain remote. I saw that hunger to make society a better place, and I am still awed by the drive our class has. For the past year, we've been stuck inside, our lives defined by the global pandemic. But still, we persisted. Together, we found pockets of joy in a difficult time and have begun to safely move out of the pandemic. But our futures are unknown. Many of us are leaving our homes for an extended period of time, for the first time ever, to pursue college degrees, to serve our country in the armed forces, or to serve society by joining the workforce. While it seems like the next steps of our lives are taking us away from each other, we move forward together. The same way we've persevered through a pandemic together, survived the strange smells together that sometimes permeated the halls and once caused our classes to end and the entire school to gather in the gym. I hope that the hunger we have to make the world a better place will continue to define us in the future, and I know that our generation, and our class specifically, is a force to be reckoned with. One of my favorite characters as a child once said, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." I can't help but agree and disagree with Winnie the Pooh's sentiment. We've come to find a home in the North community, and while leaving is difficult, we enter society with ease thanks to the preparation we've had here. Thank you, Williamsville North High School, for giving us a home and a community to love and embrace, and for giving us the tools we need to eat at commensas with our equals, to have become masters in a wide variety of fields, and to initiate the next chapter of our lives together. Congratulations, class of 2021.